actually had some kids that were crying because they were so heartbroken, and they didn't understand how that could happen and how there could be first graders just like them that are going to show up to school and have nothing. We love otters in our classroom. That's my favorite animal. And so we always say, do unto otters. So treat other people the way that you want to be treated.
Some people just need stuff that they can't have anymore because it got wet. I didn't know they could do it, really.
Call it a miracle makeover in Melrose. Make-A-Wish, Massachusetts.
I didn't know they could do it, really.
Call it a miracle makeover in Melrose. Make-A-Wish, Massachusetts and Rhode Island provided 7-year-old Ryan Feeney with his wish, a replica of Gillette Stadium in his own backyard. But surprise, Rob Gronkowski wanted to run a few plays.
I was excited. I ran right up to him and hugged him.
He looked at him coming out of the slider as Gronk's trying to tilt his head under, and he just went over and gave him a big hug. So it just showed a lot of emotion right there.
Who's your favorite player?
Nate Soldier. Yeah. I mean Gronk.
Ryan wears number 77 for Nate, but today scored a Gronk autograph on his prosthetic leg. Ryan has a genetic disorder of his nervous system,
which ended up being tibia dysplasia, which led to the fracture of his tibia. And then after some time, we decided to amputate.
Ryan's wish was very specific. He wanted his own Feeney Field sign, bleachers, and a scoreboard. Gronk was like a Hail Mary.
It's not every day that the big fella 87 is rolling through your kitchen, coming out back to, surprise your son for a Make-A-Wish.
Oh, the tight end, he goes by Gronk, while Ryan, the future quarterback, is called Rhino for short. In Melrose, Rondella Richardson, WCVB News Center.
Pretty good there, right? That spike, the Rhino spike?
Spike was excellent.
Yeah.
That was great to hear the guys giving him Rhino.
I like
Rhino.
it. The Rhino spike.
Rhino spike. Walk, my favorite line in the whole thing. Who's your favorite player? Nate Solder. I mean Gronk.
Yeah. That was really sweet.
I want to take back on that one real quick.
Yeah.
took a very loving stance. You know, he backed away, he tried to talk him down, he tried to do everything he's been taught to do. Training kicked in. We have a great staff of bus drivers, and Mr. Mullinax is a pro and takes his job very seriously and has a heart for kids. The child was definitely in need right there. You could tell there was something bothering him. And so we're going to get that fixed and work with the parents and the child and see if we can move that to a more positive place.
They are bold, beautiful, and proving to be transformative. 15, in some cases, building-sized murals in a 10-block area of downtown Lynn.
I knew Lynn is a really cool city. I knew Lynn from growing up.
From Walpole, Al Wilson was inspired by other cities where public art has fostered neighborhoods. He started with feedback from the community.
And that feedback was more public art. They wanted to light the underpasses of the MBTA commuter rail. Engage sidewalk space.
His effort Beyond Walls aims to respond. The murals were painted in 10 days by artists from around the world.
This is a piece by Angoria.
I love this one.
So, Dominican-based artist. This was actually his first time in the U.S.
The goal was to reflect the cultural makeup of Lynn.
There's a sizable Cambodian population here, so it was really important for us to bring in a top Cambodian artist.
This is the work of hip-hop legend Say Adams, the founding creative director for Def Jam Records.
He did the LP covers for the Beastie Boys, Mary J. Blige, LL Cool J.
The scale of some is breathtaking.
Part of our mission here was to make sure that you couldn't drive past Lynn, you couldn't take the train past Lynn, you had to see Lynn from a different perspective moving forward.
Some of our local coffee shops have done 3 to 6 times the business that they would ordinarily do at this time of year. We've had visitors from all over the state.
Several pieces of vintage neon art, antique signs are up. There will be a dozen in total. Also to come, a trio of dynamic light installations at otherwise dark and often unsafe underpasses.
It's part of that narrative of if we can engage the sidewalks and increase walkability, we'll encourage businesses to stay open later. If businesses stay open later and they're getting business, that's a second job opportunity for someone that lives here in Lynn.
The feedback has been overwhelming.
I love the murals. They brighten up the city.
Absolutely incredible. And I mean, it's uplifting.
I think it really has connected people, which has been our ultimate goal.
In Lynn, Erica Tarantel, WCVB News Center 5.
Wow.